What is up? Welcome to Every Single Guitars, where the goal of this channel is to review every single guitar ever made. Today I have a guitar that I've never seen before in my life. I did not even know this guitar existed, and I thought I've seen it all. Honestly, I did, but how little did I know. I was so naive. After making this channel and reviewing a lot of different types of guitars, I've been discovering guitars that I've never even seen or even knew existed, and I think that's very cool actually. So today I have a 2012 Gibson Moderne or Modern. I've heard some people pronounce it modern or modern, but basically the Gibson Moderne or Modern. So I saw this guitar on my local ad and I thought this was like a brand new Gibson that Gibson released, kind of like how Fender released their Parallel Universe series or Universe Parallel series. So I thought this was kind of Gibson's concept of that. But after doing more research on this, apparently this model first came out in the 50s. In the 50s. I did not even know that. The Strat came out in the 50s. The Tele came out in the 50s. Those are guitars that everyone or a lot of people in the guitar community knows about, you know, because it's the most popular. For me, if something came out over 50 years ago or half a century ago, I feel like people should know about it. But this, I've never heard about this guitar. I've never seen this guitar until this past week. So right off the bat, the design is very unusual. This is not, even for a Gibson, like this is just not a common design by any means. I mean, the headstock looks kind of weird. It kind of reminds me of like the Dean guitars. I've never owned the Dean. I've never been interested in a Dean, to be honest, but you know, I feel like the headstock kind of resembles this with the V shape, and the body, it looks like a Flying V kind of thing, but it just looks kind of like mutated, like a mutated version of a Flying V. I honestly don't even know where they came up with this design. It's just not, I mean, if I saw this guitar at a store, I'd probably check it out and play it, but I don't know if I would buy it because it's just not a, it's just like a weird looking thing, you know? But the owner that I bought this from, he was the first owner. He bought it brand new. He told me that they designed it like this because the Flying V has this part, but it's more prominent. So you can't really play it like that, apparently, for a Flying V. I've never owned the Flying V, but I've seen them, so I don't really know how to play it. But you know, from the videos I've seen of people playing the Flying V, they play it like this, like putting it like this. I think Albert King plays it like this, if I'm not mistaken. You know, a lot of classical guitar players play it like this, but you know, for the Flying V, since this part is just way too sharp, I assume the guitar probably just falls down like this, so that's why they go like that. But I think for this design, you know, they kind of used the Flying V, but kind of manipulated this part so that you could play it, you know, on your lap more comfortably. But dude, I played this guitar a decent amount. Dude, to be honest, sitting down, this guitar is not comfortable to play at all. Like, yeah, this part is kind of straight, so I guess it makes it easier to play than a Flying V, but still, it's hard for the guitar to stay still. You know, a lot of the times, or all the times when I play a guitar, I always rest my arm on the top area. So like a Strat or a Tele, I'm always resting it. So right here, there's no strength. But for this guitar, I have to play it, you know, with my armpit kind of levitating, if that even makes sense. So after a while, like my shoulder gets kind of sore playing this guitar if you play it sitting down. So I realized that the best and most comfortable way to play this guitar for me personally is actually like this. Like, this looks really weird, but this is the most comfortable for me. Problem is, like, it's so hard to reach the frets right here, you know, like even a simple C chord, like I have to extend my arm like this, but you should not be playing a guitar like this. This is just does not make any sense to play, you know? Other than the design, which is kind of questionable, I'd say, in terms of the quality of this guitar, I'm actually very impressed. This is probably one of the best modern Gibsons that I've owned in terms of quality. And by modern, I'd say post 2010 10. But for this, every part of the guitar is very solid, very well built. Even the body, this piece of wood is just, dude, this is one solid piece of wood, dude. This is like, if somebody hit you with this, you'd be injured pretty badly. This neck, surprisingly, is very comfortable. Probably one of the most comfortable necks I've played on a Gibson. Even though the body design is it's just really weird. I mean, how would you describe this body? But the neck, it's not a thin neck, it's not a slim neck by any means. It's a neck where, you know, when you play, or when I play, I have a lot more flexibility and room for my hands personally. So when I bend, I could bend on the upper register much easily compared to like a smaller neck guitar. One thing that I thought was kind of weird about this guitar is this thing. I'm assuming, you know, this is where all the electronics goes for the knobs. Dude, they just designed this in a very interesting manner. It kind of, what does this look like, dude? It kind of looks like a dick, a penis, a phallus. You know, I don't know any other vernacular or diction, but dude, was this done on purpose? Like, dude, this is just like, it looks so obvious. Like, how can you, was this the only design that they could think of? Like, you know, if you go to the back of the Gibson Moderne, my first thing that I noticed was, this looks kind of unusual design. Maybe it's like a subliminal text kind of thing, I don't know, but it doesn't affect the guitar, it doesn't affect the playability or the tone or whatever. You know, you could have done any other design. You could have done a square, a circle. I mean, I guess the excuse could be because it's kind of a V. I don't know why they did this, but to me, this looks very close to a dick. And when you're playing it, actually, yeah, never mind, that's kind of inappropriate. So let me show you what this guitar sounds like. So this is the neck. Try the middle. Try the bridge. Let's try it with some gain. Overall impression, despite the weird design, the unusual design, I'd say just from a quality and tone perspective, this guitar is actually very, very good. You know, since this is a reissue, and I'm not really a big fan of reissues, to be honest. I feel like sometimes they kind of cheap out on a lot of things for the price that you pay. For this particular guitar, everything is just solid. The wood quality is very good. The neck quality is very good. The fretboard quality is very good. Tuners are very good. The pickups are very good. But my biggest gripe is just the design. It's just not a comfortable guitar to play. You know, when you're playing standing up with a strap, that's completely different. You know, I don't play sitting or I don't play standing. I'm not a musician or I don't gig or anything like that. But when you're sitting down and playing, it's just not comfortable to play this guitar at all. But other than that, very solid. If I bought a Gibson, this is the type of quality that I would expect for a good quality Gibson, and this is what it is. 2012 Gibson Moderne or Modern. I give this an 8 out of 10. I dock off the 2 points mainly because of this weird ass design. Overall, it's a very good guitar.